Hi, I'm Mitchell Dale and this is Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. Joined on the couch today by Martin Lenihan from Rugby League Week, Eric Groth from the Cronulla Sharks. Now boys, off the top of the bat, I want to talk about Andrew Fifita. Obviously a lot's gone down there with him. Good news for your Sharkies, Eric, is that it's now a race between two for his signature. It's the Sharks or it's the ARU. The Rabbitohs and Roosters look to have dropped off at this stage. Mate, it's been a big week for him. You've seen him, how's he coping?
Mate, you wouldn't know with him. I seen him chasing one of the other boys up the field yesterday, yelling out and screaming and laughing and yahooing, and I thought I'd test the water. I said, hey, Fifta, how you going, mate? And he high-fived me, he goes, yeah, good brah, like just smiling and laughing. You just wouldn't know with him. He's a big colourful kind of character. I'm sure it'd be, bothering him inside, but good poker face. Yeah.
Now, obviously a lot was said about his comment about perhaps wanting to go to rugby. May have knocked his asking price down a bit now.
Yeah, a little bit, mate. But Raylene Castle come out and said that wasn't the sole reason for their, splitting, going their own ways. So, yeah, I think there's more to it than that. I think it's something contractually, but I'm sure we'll find out in the next.
You're too honest sometimes, maybe. Like, isn't it? The media, wants guys to speak and say things, and then when he says something like that, it probably works against him. So,
yeah, you
mate,
can't win.
800 large, they were talking about. So he's going to end up a little bit out of pocket, but.
That's it. And remember also that they asked him about the rules of rugby league and the way it's going, and he said, I should have went to union. It's just, it's just idle chit-chat, mate. He's just being honest and open, and that's just blown out of proportion.
What about you, mate? Have you ever been too honest and open with the media? Anything you regret saying?
I was a smart ass to Ricky Stewart once. He blew up at me and said some colourful things about me when I didn't turn up to an Australian camp initial training session, orientation thing, and I said that I was a struggling musician playing footy to pay the bills.
Yep.
But it's actually the opposite now. I'm actually a struggling football player playing music to pay the bills with the contract I'm on. Yeah, he was real happy with that. It was kind of funny because I was in a hire car one day heading into the city, and he was friends with the guy driving the hire car and put him on the loudspeaker, and it was the first time we spoke since that incident, and it was all like it never happened, so he's a good bloke stick.
And what it does for the Dogs, Mitch, obviously, no Fifita is free up a bit of cash, and Peter Hickey from Manly looks like he's in the sights. Fantastic fullback. He's been in Brett Stewart's shadow a fair bit, but I reckon he'd be a great buy for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great player. I played against him in the trials. Very fast, elusive, young and fresh, yeah. It made it be a great signing for anyone.
Yeah, well, they've certainly got a bit of cash to throw around. Now, interesting, talking of player movements, Kevin Proctor, he said he's going to test the waters, so his manager sent out an email to all 15 clubs. 14 of them got back and said, yeah, we'd be interested to talk to you. So he's got to be the NRL's most wanted man. The only club that said they probably can't fit him in at this stage is Manly. So
Storm still want him as well. So
that's right, there's 15 clubs chasing him.
That's nice to be wanted. I've got 15 clubs not answering their phones when I call them. Be a nice change.
Mate, fantastic young player. I think he's come through that Storm system. He'd be a great pickup for a lot of clubs, international player. So it'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
That's probably closest at this stage are the Roosters, looking at him as a replacement for Sonny Bill. So
that's a huge rap, but he's the type of player that does a lot of those little things that don't get all the headlines. So he's one of those players that you absolutely love to play with and have in your team.
That's right. Look, that leads us nicely to tonight's game, the Dogs and the Roosters. Both sides tracking along not too bad at the moment.
Yeah, look, I think a massive upset really for the Dogs to win last week. I'd say if you look in hindsight, Melbourne were probably pretty distracted by the whole Jordan McLean, Alex McKinnon issue. So they fell apart over there in Perth. I still think the Roosters will win, but they need to find some form. They've got a few problems there. It hasn't all clicked for them. So I think they'll get the money, the Roosters.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you there, McFly. The Roosters for sure, mate. They're just on the verge of doing something great again, and I think they're going to roll the Dogs.
Dipped them every week so far, you know that, don't you?
Have I? Every week,
yeah.
Wow, yeah.
You're tracking at about 50%.
They're just so hard to pick against, mate. They're just across the board. They're just so solid in every area.
Absolutely. They're not the premiers for no reason.
Exactly.
Look, I'm sticking with the boys. I'm taking the Roosters to win as well. Okay, on to the other big game tonight, the Broncos and the Eels, and we're joined by a special guest, Parramatta legend and good friend of Rugby League Week's Peter Wynn. Thanks for joining us, Winnie.
Mitch, a pleasure to be here. It's great to sit next to young Eric. I've known his father very well over the years, one of my favourite players, both father and son, awesome players. So I feel privileged to be here. Thanks, Mitch.
Now, mate, Parramatta, they're going along pretty well at the moment, 2-2. What's the feel like out there at the community? Obviously, you're out there in the community with Peter Wynn's score. What's it like out there? What are they feeling?
Mate, they're excited. There's a lot of optimism in the world around the Parramatta area at the moment. They're very excited. The fact Parramatta have done so well at the start of the season. A lot of anticipation, hoping this will be our year to get back to the semi-finals and possibly into the grand final. Who knows? But the fans are hanging out for that. They've had some couple of lean years. very loyal supporters, as we all know. And if we have a winning team this year, everything will be completely hidden and blue and gold will be firing all 6 or 8 or 12 cylinders.
They do have a big game tonight against the Broncos, as I said, up there at Suncorp. Caught up with their hooker, Nathan Peets, this week. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Oh yeah, there's always improvement. I've had it's only my third game, so I've got 3 80-minute games out, which I came here for to get long minutes, and I'm a week-to-week progress. I'm still learning off Brad and the coaching staff what I have to do, and just trying to improve myself. So yeah, I'm not getting ahead of myself at all. Like I said, I'm worried about the team, and we've had 2 wins, 2 losses, and we're trying to make that 3 wins this week.
Yeah, big game indeed, Eric.
Very big game, mates. Parramatta, the way they've been playing, it's really exciting to watch because they're just going for it. I'm sure there's a structure there and a game plan, and Brad Arthur's been great for them. But, mate, yeah, you just don't know what they're kind of going to do next. They're just absolutely going for it. So it's hard to tip against the Broncos at home. Parra got a good record up there. I think Parra are going to do it.
Winnie, we know who you're going to tip. Tell us why.
Yeah, go Parra. Otherwise, as Eric said, they do play well up there at Suncorp Stadium. See no difference tonight. I think they'll have a great game.
Definitely, look, they are going very well, but I'm going to go against 2 proud Parramatta men. I'm going to take the Broncos tonight. I think they're going great guns at the moment. Moving on to tomorrow, Rugby League returns to the SCG. Now, Pete, scene of many famous victories for yourself there. What's your favourite moment of playing at the SCG?
Look, I'm a country boy, and as a kid, all we used to get was the ABC Match of the Day on a Saturday. So the Sydney Cricket Ground was something special. Then the Test matches, then the Grand Finals. So as a kid, and City Country games. As a kid, all I ever wanted to do was play at that Sydney Cricket Ground, and I got the opportunity to do that in 1978, playing country against City in the first. And to go into that dressing shed, the aura of that place is something special. It's very hard to explain what it's like, but you just think you're walking in the footsteps of so many other great players, the Clive Churchills, the Reg Gazniers, the Johnny Rapers. So for me, probably the greatest thrill was the 83 Grand Final, knocking off Manly.
That's weird because I was 3 and I remember that because Dad he swapped jerseys with one of the players, the other winger, and he had that jersey on. I remember spinning out, seeing Dad in like a Manly jersey, and he was carrying me through the crowd. It's weird, I can remember that.
I set him up for a try that day, Eric.
You did, yeah, you were very good at it. He was my man of the match that day.
Yeah, of course he was. Wasn't the only time you were spun out at the SCG, Eric.
Yeah, no, it was I got whacked in the head by a little angry ant, Shane Dunley, when we played there against Manly in, I think it was 2005. Yeah, he just come out of the line and thought he'd try and take my forehead off my head, and he did very well.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now, we caught up with South and Saints players this week. Starting with John Sutton, he talks about breaking Bob McCarthy's record for the most first-grade games at South Sydney.
Yeah, it is. It's a big thrill, and it's it's great going past. Bobby, he's a legend of the club, man of the game, and to do it out here on the weekend is going to be a big honour for myself. But in saying that, just want to get the win on the weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely an honour, and to run out, for my first game at the SCG in the Heritage Round, it's always a tough game against South, but being, the history that we have, it's going to be, a good game on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it.
To be able to be a part of this, and for my first time as a coach to coach at the SCG, it's a real honour actually. This stadium, it's an iconic figure right around the world, so I'm looking forward, and I no doubt the players are as well.
It's going to be a tremendous game out here, and we've got a lot of the old fellas coming out from years gone by us, and it's going to be a very special day.
Okay, so boys, Rabbit's in a bit of a hole at the moment. What do you reckon, Eric?
That was very funny, mate.
That's
Very
good.
funny.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah, they're in a hole, but they're a scary team. It can change at any moment for them, especially with Mr. Maguire at the helm. Yeah, I think he'd be getting in their ears, pumping them up. I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I'm a Rabbitoh fan on this week too. I think St George got the play for. They've sailed for the season well, but I just think the Rabbitohs against the wall a bit. So we'll just see how good a side they are with what happens on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm back on your side here, boys. I think the Rabbitohs need to get things kick-started soon. I think they'll do it tomorrow night. Well, Eric, your section's got a new intro. This better be good.
Mate, well done to the Rugby League Week team on that. That was beautiful. Mate, as you get older, you struggle through training, and you get a lot sorer after games and training sessions. So I've been trying to keep on top of it. Now there's this guy named Michael, and he's got a studio called Michael's Therapy. And I went out yesterday to have some treatment, and I'll tell you what, the treatment, it absolutely kills you. Like, I'm in the most pain you'll see here. But afterwards, like today, I feel amazing. I feel all free in the hips. He's just a bit of a genius. I think he's got the magical touch. So I'm trying to be a professional athlete for once in my life, and Michael's Therapy's really helped me do so.
Let's have a look.
Here we are for my personal growth segment. I'm trying to better myself as an athlete. So I've invited the lovely people of Rugby League Week out to Michael's Natural Therapies for you to watch me get some trigger treatment. It bloody kills, but I'm telling you, I've never felt better the next day. I'm going to get some trigger therapy, and then we're going to have a salt bath. So come and check out the big man himself. All the neglected areas you don't get touched when you get massaged. Nice roof, nice ceiling. I'm telling you, it's the worst pain. It
feels good at the end.
Yeah, it's straight away, but just going through it. Are you just using one finger?
Yeah.
Just like that?
Yeah.
One finger. So this is the salt flotation bath, 375 kilograms of Epsom salt. It's all about drawing out the detoxifying your system and really relaxing your muscles. All this magnesium gets into you and relaxes you. It's the equivalent to 4 to 8 hours sleep.
That was all a little bit disconcerting. Eric, can you tell me what was happening there?
Mate, yes, it's trigger therapy first and then into the salt flotation bath. 350 kilograms of salt in this bath and you can't sink, you just float as you've seen there. And you have to be nude. And that's his suggestion, Michael's suggestion. Is a little bit weird, Mike.
Winnie, that would never have happened in your day.
Mate, I was looking for the magic fingers, deep heat and a bit of ice. What's going on, Eric?
Yeah, Joe Joseph, the magic
Joseph
hands,
does.
No, mate, there's technology now, it's amazing. But, mate, no joke, I've never felt better. And I knew at training this morning that you can just tell the benefits. You just feel free. Like usually you feel a bit locked up and stiff, but I feel amazing.
It's all about personal growth. It's all about helping
Personal
you grow
area
as a
growth.
footballer.
That's it, mate.
There we go. That's the end of another episode of Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. Winnie, thanks for joining us.
Hey, pleasure, Mitch.
Eric, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.